Hey, what's up, everybody? Um, yeah. So first of all, this guy that killed this guy, Floyd. Um, all right. So the only Floyd I know is Floyd Mayweather. All right. I know that sounds ignorant, but now we know George Floyd. Um, I can't stand the way this guy looks. To me, he looks like a piece of scum. He looks like a scumbag. The guy that the cop, the cop that put the knee on uh, Mr. Floyd's neck. He looks like a scumbag, and um, he's got that look like he's jealous. He's always looking at people and are always jealous of black people because they be stunting with the big rims, and he's trying to figure out how come they got a big rims and I don't have a big rim. And oh man, I know he's got a big this and a big that, and I have a little Peter and he's got a big one. He's one of them guys, man. He's one of those guys that are really, really angry, really jealous due to the fact that he's got to put on so much daggone. It really bothers him to the fact that he's got to put on so much suntan lotion. Because he's gonna get burnt in the sun. Maybe he's just mad because of his hair receding line. Okay, because the fact of that. But whatever the case may be, and if you look at his daggone shoes, maybe he's mad because he don't know how to tie his shoes properly. His laces is sticking out mad far. Maybe he's mad because he got to wear some real tight clothes. He looked like he ain't ate nothing in days. He a lightweight. It took all four, and you know what? It always takes like three, four boys to get one black man. Now y'all, I know what you're gonna try to show us now. Now you're gonna try to show us one or maybe two, right? You're going to show one or two cops coming after us. And you're going to try to show them how they can also subdue us as well, right? Is this all about a subduing? Are we back in the 60s and the 50s? How about maybe the early 1800s when y'all used to take pictures and stuff like that? Because right now the pictures are being flaunted all across the internet. I think the way the guy looked, it looked like he got off when he was had his knee on the guy's neck. It looked like when I say got off, I mean it looked like he had literally masturbated in his pants after he, after killing a guy. I saw in the movie, it was a Netflix series where a black man was facing the electric chair, and they would press a button and it was a hologram of him facing the electric chair, and they had these white folk coming in there and they were like sadists, man. They were going in there and watching them in the electric chair, and they were jerking off to it. Some people really get off to satanic stuff where people die and they love it. They get off on it. Don't know anything about it. Won't ever. I know nothing about it. But what I do know is I don't have any answers for you. I can't tell you how to take over. I can't tell you how to win. But I can tell you that I could tell you how to win. I could tell you how to take over, but will it work? I don't know because we never been there before. First of all, in a situation like this, I would recommend when I first got on the last time when I talked about Ahmaud Arbery, those people were arrested. I'm not saying that I'm the one that did it, but obviously there was a lot more play than me. But when I got on the microphone about Ahmaud Arbery, the men were arrested like 2 days later. But I also found out that there was some good men that went to town, paid the people a visit. Now over here at what my suggestion was for Ahmaud Arbery was this, and I will say the same thing for Minneapolis cops. The senator his job is to hear your grievances. The governor, the mayor, their job is to hear your grievances. I don't care if you live in Oklahoma. I don't care if you live in Massachusetts and you're black. I don't care if you live in Colorado and you're black. I don't care if you live in Nevada and you're black. I don't care what state you live in. Their job is to hear your grievances. If some information about Minneapolis is coming across your radar, I am going to encourage you to call them up and say, hey, I didn't like what's going on down there, and I'm hoping that y'all do something about it quickly. We have a tendency of thinking that, oh, well, let these news medias take care of it. But these news medias, they have a tendency of persuading things and smacking people on the wrist. And the federal government has been bought by corporations and lobbyists, and a lot of nepotism's going on in there. These men may be high-ranking officials of a certain order, and they might get a slap on the wrist. But here's the big but. You got to remember something. When Christ was crucified on the cross, he was only crucified because the people wanted him to. It wasn't because Caesar asked for him to be crucified. It was because the people wanted him to be crucified. Now, you get a nice little crowd of there, about, let's say, 200-300 people, and they go over there with their signs, they're marching, and they say, oh, you know, whatever, we're going to overcome, Black Lives Matter, whatever, it's all the same. You get a nice little group of people doing that, that's okay. You get some people that turn the town inside out. For me, I am not encouraging any violence, but hey, I'll watch that too on TV. But here's the main thing. If you get a whole nation of people, even all of the black ministers, they all should be, anytime they see something like this, all the Muslim, the people, Muslim mosque people and stuff like that, anytime when they hear something like this, call them the phone. Hi, I'm so and so. I have this congregation here. You don't even have to say if you have a congregation, but you just say I'm a concerned citizen that is a member of the United States of America. I was born and raised here, and I saw what happened on television, and I don't like what's happening. I want you to pass laws to do something about it. If you got half the United States of black people to do that, their phone ring consistently to the point where they're going to have to take it off the hook, believe you me, there will be another hanging. And it won't be a black man. You will see not just a man fired, but you might even see him go to chair. What this man did was deliberately kill him. You had a person, a black man, that told him that he had been trained in fighting. And he said the move that you're doing is horrible. And he was begging for that man to get off of him. Now, you know, one thing about this whole particular system that I believe that they want us to do is they want us to get really mad. They want us to get mad, or, here's the other thing, they want to numb us. They may not want us to get too mad, they want us to keep numbing us and make us feel like, well, this thing is normal. It's kind of like watching a slave get whooped with a daggone whip, and then we just watch him get whooped and not say or do anything and say, oh wow, look at that. And in fact, even when that man was getting his face to the ground, you heard a man say, all you had to do was this, all you had to do was that. Anytime you see an African American man getting his face to the ground like that, you make sure you say this. You tell them, you say, police officer, can you please put your handcuffs on him and stop trying to kill the guy? Please. You know? You can say, I'm a citizen and all I'm doing is requesting that you not kill him. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta do. You don't have to, don't be, it's bad enough that the black man is already down. Okay, don't be trying to tell him and scold him while he's down too. But of course, you'll have people out there that are like that. Because we got a lot of people out here that are like Roman soldiers. They don't feel for the ones. I don't care how he was acting. I don't care if he was acting a fool. He was not armed. He had no gun on him. These men have 4 guns on him, okay? Plus tasers, nightsticks, and all kind of weapons. And this man had nothing on him. The other thing is it takes all the time. Now, I'm going to go into predicting the future real quick. First of all, what are they going to do? Are they going to release a picture? Huh? Are they going to release a picture now from the morgue of this guy and how dead he was? Are they going to have a cop smiling next to him? You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the way they used to do in Iraq, when they were in Iraq, and they were smiling and putting them all on dog leashes and acting like they were hot shots out there, huh? Because that's exactly what they just got finished doing in Ahmaud Arbery when they the girl that was a relative of the Mick whatevers. She posted a picture out on Instagram of Ahmaud Arbery after he was dead. There's sick people that get off on this. Back in the day, I mean, no, I don't know if I told you, but I believe that cop might probably be masturbated when he had his neck on the guy's when he had his knee on the guy's neck. There's people that get off on this. It's disgusting. Back in the day, they used to after they'd hang us up, they would chop our skin off, and they would bring it home as a souvenir. This was a day of fun for them. This was a day of gratitude, of Thanksgiving. It was we were 3/5 of a man. We weren't even a man back then, in the early and late 1800s. And it's only been 55 years. I just checked it out not too long ago, since we were able to vote the same way other nationalities in this country are able to vote. We have a tendency, black people have a tendency of acting like we've been doing this for a long time. Actually, your voting history is very new. This country is way older than your voting history, your official voting history. Yeah, they may have let us vote in the past, but they would ask us to make us take tests. They would make us take tests. They would make you take all kind of stuff. They would ask to see your license, your ID, your registration, your insurance card, everything. And if you didn't have a certain document, you weren't voting. And it was only through the fight of Martin Luther King and also a lot of other powerful leaders back then that helped change that era. But only that time was only 55 years ago. That wasn't even a long time. And we walk around and act like, well, this thing is like it's been going on for 200 years. America comes up with 150 different thousand news stories from 55 years ago, and acting like that was old. 55 years is not a long time, considering that this country is over is I don't know, however old this stupid country is. And I'm not saying stupid as in I ain't trying to get kicked out. Which brings me to another scenario. It's stupid as in the police officers. One thing that I do understand with all police officers, this might help them if they're not doing it. Anytime when an incident happens with a particular corporation, there's an email blast that gets sent out on all to all businesses of a major corporation. Let's say, for example, somebody in Microsoft got sexually harassed. There'll be an email blast amongst all the people in Microsoft that we may need some training, and we're doing a stand down on all business operations until this business matter. In order to mitigate the hazard, because we're facing a lawsuit right now that's costing us money. Obviously, the police departments need to have the same thing. They're also need, I don't know. I'm thinking you need a black psychologist around there. And if you don't pass the black psychologist, let me not go there. I ain't kidding, no, man. I have no answer for stupidity. I have no answer for ignorance. I don't. I can't tell you what to do. I could tell you the psychology behind it, but to actually tell you how to solve it, that I can't do. Because that's like seeing a kid steal out the candy store. No, that's like seeing a 70-year-old man steal out the candy store knowing that he wasn't supposed to steal. I have to look at that man and say, well, how do we solve this problem? You expect me to solve this problem? This guy just got finished stealing a candy bar. He's 70 years old. He knows better. He ain't never faced a day of jail in his life, but he's been stealing candy bars for a long time. How do you solve that issue? You put the man in jail for a very long time. Why? Because he's older and he knows better. I say that the police officers that kill people, their pensions, everything needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. They don't get to pass the money down to their relatives, family, or nothing. The money goes back to the city, And any police officer that kills someone, they don't get any pensions or anything like that. And on top of that, they end up getting they immediately get prosecuted to the highest extent. The ones that, especially the ones that the police officers that had that have that had no justifiable cause, such as the one we saw here. You had a martial artist, somebody that was trained for combat, that was in the crowd begging them and crying and pleading to get off of his neck, and they did not listen. They didn't listen. They didn't say, the guy didn't listen. They just kept him just like that. And I don't care if the guy was high off of PCP, cocaine, marijuana, and liquor. You know what else I'm tired of? I'm tired of all of our leadership. We got watered down leadership. We got to start thinking of black nationalism. I hope I'm not repeating myself. But we have to start thinking of black nationalism. We got to all start getting together and thinking of a way on how we all can just start uniting. Black people in general. I understand that there's certain major corporations that we already have a part of. And I understand because of their particular platform that they cannot join us. However, there is a lot of different small businesses and different things like that that can make themselves a little bit more public and try to promote more unity amongst us. We need to start promoting unity. I don't necessarily think I used to be a big fan of hip hop and stuff like that, and that seems to be what is the order of the day. I don't think it's getting us anywhere, especially with the leaders that we have right now in the music industry. Back in the day, man, you had Michael Jackson, you had Stevie Wonder, you had Diana Ross, you had all of these people that would teach you all these different things about love, about appreciation of life in their music. Right now we have horrible music. We have music where they're talking about bang bang shoot 'em up, and they're talking about slinging cocaine and drugs in our own communities. Those days are over. We don't care. Let the rainbow hairs, let anyone that is, when I say rainbow hair, I'm talking about a distinctive person. Anyone that has to deal with any kind of ignorance towards the African American community, this ain't no time for comedian jokes no more. I don't need David Chappelle to come out with jokes right now. I don't need Kevin Hart to make me laugh right now. I'm done. I'm done laughing for a while. I mean, I can laugh. I mean, we can make a joke about some things, but let not the joke be on us. Let the joke be on them, not on us. We have to start sticking together. There's too many times that we tear each other down to the point where we can't even prosper because we be hating on each other. It's time to start building each other up to the highest extent. I ain't in a bit. Look. You find someone that want to sit at the table with Trump, that want to sit at the table on the National Black Caucus or the NAACP. They want to sit at the table with all of these high people and try to donate to the cause, right? That's understandable. They can help you in politics, so far as with trying to get somewhere. However, the second that they say, we need more education for everybody, we need more minorities, but their title is Negro National Association for Colored People, or if that's what Negro Association, I don't know, or the National Black Caucus, and Black Caucus is fighting for human rights. How about no? How about fighting for black people first? Because, and it's kind of disgraceful to come to us and talking about we need education. We got education. We got all the education that we need, that we should have in the world. What we need more of is training. Forget your education. And what we need more of is we need training in economics, and we also need in business and operating heavy machinery, and the machinery to buy in order to, training for the machinery to buy in order to start running this thing. So On the next one, I'm gonna get more into it. Like I said, before I end this, I hope I repeated myself a couple of times. Do me a favor and call up all of the people. Call up in Minneapolis. Call up the mayor, the governor, the human rights people. Call up everybody and say, listen, we are not satisfied with what we're seeing that's going on in your town. They'll ask you for your name and so on and so forth. Just say, I'm just here filing a grievance. That's all. Do that for me. Get their number and just make a phone call. Turn their phones inside out. I'd like to see this guy in jail with a guy named Bubba, and I'd like for the guy that put his knee on him, on Fred on Floyd's neck. I'd like to see him spend a lot of time in jail, like a very long time. I would like to see him in jail like this minute. He really needs to. I don't want him spreading his income out to his family. I don't even want him to go home and kiss his family goodbye. I just want to see him in jail, because the police departments need to be taught a lesson. They need to be this needs to be a case open and a case closed. You can't keep letting these things drag on, because they'll say in their heads, they're going to say, you can't keep giving. What you cannot keep doing is giving these criminals. Now, I'm not talking about honest to goodness, loving, law-abiding citizen cops, but I'm talking about the ones that are cold-blooded killers. You can't keep giving them a little leeway, because they're gonna, they're gonna say, well, at least I got a sandwich. Oh, well, at least I was able to say goodbye to my kids. Oh, well, at least I was able to. No, you got to treat them like who they are. Cold-blooded murderers. You could sit them down and say, why'd you do it? You say, you got 1 day, Jack, and don't leave the state. All right? If you want to wash your car for the last time, you want to walk around your house for the last time, you do what you're going to do. But guess what? We are putting an ankle bracelet on you, and that's another thing they should do. They should put ankle bracelets on. And they say, you're under house arrest, and tomorrow, when the sun goes up, your ass is mine, Jack. You are going to jail. All right? So that's what we need to start doing to the ones that are obviously disobeying the law. Forget citizen arrests. Forget them. They're over. They don't work for black people. Those laws never should be in effect to begin with. If you think you can make a citizen's arrest, kiss my you-know-what into a black man. But anyway, I don't promote hate. I'm not promoting any violence. I'm trying to come up with some solutions to problems that I'm seeing that's only going to get worse. There's going to be 4 of them this time. Next time it's going to be maybe 5 or 6. Or they're going to change it up and make it only 2 or 1. And it's becoming to be a thing of like, it's becoming to be a thing of a fetish. And that's not a good thing. For some of them, they're getting confused with their meetings. That I believe they're getting confused with their meetings that they would do with their good buddies, wearing hoods or masks, and they're getting it confused because they were or are wearing the masks, and they're just getting their life confused. They don't know what to do. Like, oh, I gotta lock them up. Wait a minute, should I string them up? Should we hog time down? The guy says, no, we don't have on those hoods. We just only had on our mask. And we took them off, remember? Yeah, but I'm still in that mode of stringing them up. To me, it feels like this whole Make America Great Again. Whew, man. But they were doing this when Obama was around. So, that's what I'm saying. So, on the next one, I'm going to talk about predictive programming, how to stay ahead of the game, and also business economics. Because we got to get ahead of the game, y'all. We can't let the same program continue to keep whooping our ass. It's just not going to work. That's silly. I played Super Mario a bunch of times, and after a while, you'll figure out how to jump over the Goomba. Come on. Alright, peace.